In the weightless environment of space, everything changes. Objects float effortlessly, fluids behave unpredictably, and the human body undergoes profound transformations. But what about the nervous systems of animals? How does weightlessness affect their brains, reflexes, and perception of the world around them? NASA has been studying this question for decades, using animals to understand the effects of microgravity on neurological function. The nervous system is responsible for movement, balance, and sensory perception, all of which are deeply tied to gravity on Earth. Without gravity, signals from the brain to the body can behave in ways we do not yet fully understand. To investigate this, scientists have sent a variety of animals into space, including mice, fish, jellyfish, and even frogs. Each species offers a unique glimpse into how different nervous systems adapt or struggle to function in zero gravity. One of the most surprising discoveries came from studies on jellyfish. Jellyfish rely on gravity-sensing structures called statocysts to orient themselves in the ocean. When baby jellyfish were sent to space, they developed normally, but upon returning to Earth, they showed severe disorientation. They could no longer navigate properly, suggesting that weightlessness had permanently altered their nervous systems. This finding raised important questions. Does prolonged weightlessness rewire the brain? Do animals born in space experience permanent changes in their neurological development? To explore this, NASA turned to another species, mice. Mice are excellent test subjects because their nervous systems share similarities with those of humans. On board the International Space Station, mice have been observed floating in microgravity, struggling to coordinate their movements. Over time, they adapt, learning to move efficiently without the influence of gravity. But upon returning to Earth, they experience difficulties adjusting back to normal gravitational forces. Some exhibit balance issues, while others display altered neural activity in their vestibular systems, the part of the inner ear responsible for balance and motion detection. These changes suggest that prolonged exposure to weightlessness does not just affect muscles and bones, it reshapes the very way the nervous system processes movement. Fish have also provided critical insights into how microgravity affects nervous system function. NASA has sent zebrafish to space to study how their neural pathways respond to an environment without gravity. In microgravity, fish struggle to determine which way is up, often swimming in erratic circles before adapting. This is because their inner ear and lateral line system, which help them detect movement and pressure, are designed to work with the force of gravity. Without it, their nervous systems must compensate, finding new ways to interpret spatial orientation. One of the most fascinating questions in neuroscience is whether the brain can permanently adapt to life without gravity. If animals spent generations in space, would their nervous systems evolve to function differently? Would creatures born in space develop new neural pathways that make weightlessness feel natural? NASA's studies suggest that the brain is remarkably adaptable, but that does not mean there are no long-term consequences. In humans, prolonged exposure to microgravity has been linked to vision problems, dizziness, and changes in brain structure. Astronauts returning to Earth often experience space dizziness, struggling to walk or stand properly for days or even weeks. This is because their nervous systems have adjusted to weightlessness, and suddenly gravity feels unnatural. Could the same be true for animals? Would a cat or dog raised in space ever be able to function normally on Earth? NASA's ongoing studies seek to answer these questions, pushing the boundaries of our understanding of neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself. One of the biggest concerns is how weightlessness affects the development of the nervous system in unborn animals. Scientists have studied how frog embryos develop in space, observing whether their neural structures form correctly in microgravity. While some aspects of development appear normal, others show irregularities, raising concerns about whether animals could reproduce successfully in space. If humans ever plan to colonize other planets, Understanding how microgravity affects nervous system development will be critical. Would babies born in space have different neural wiring from those born on Earth? Would their motor skills and reflexes function in ways we cannot yet predict? NASA's experiments with rodents have shown that even after just a few weeks in space, their nervous systems undergo significant changes. Some develop altered neurotransmitter activity, which could impact learning, memory, and mood. Others show changes in muscle control, struggling to move normally when reintroduced to gravity. These findings could have profound implications for future space travel. If astronauts spend years in microgravity, will their nervous systems change so much that they struggle to return to Earth? Would an astronaut born in space ever be able to walk properly on a planet with gravity? NASA is now using advanced brain imaging techniques to study how weightlessness affects neural pathways at a microscopic level. By analyzing brain scans of animals before and after space missions, scientists can map how microgravity alters brain structure over time. Early results indicate that certain regions of the brain responsible for balance and coordination become less active in weightlessness. This suggests that the brain does not just adapt, it may actually turn off some of its gravity-dependent functions. For animals that rely on gravity for survival, such as birds or land-dwelling mammals, this could be a major challenge. But for aquatic animals like fish or amphibians, the transition to microgravity might be easier. Could evolution eventually favor species that thrive in weightless environments? Would future generations of space-dwelling animals develop entirely new nervous systems optimized for life without gravity? NASA's research is not just about animals, it is about the future of human space exploration. Understanding how weightlessness affects the nervous system could help us prepare for long-term space travel. Could we develop treatments to counteract the negative effects of microgravity on neural function? Could artificial gravity environments help preserve the nervous system's natural balance? These questions will shape the future of space travel as we push further into the cosmos. NASA's studies on animal nervous systems are not just about survival in space. They are about understanding the very nature of adaptation. How does the brain adjust when the rules of physics are rewritten? Can we train the nervous system to function just as efficiently in zero gravity as it does on Earth? One thing is certain, weightlessness is not just a physical challenge, it is a neurological one. And as we continue to send animals and humans into space, we are uncovering new mysteries about how life adapts to the cosmos. The nervous system is the control center of the body, and weightlessness challenges its every function. Through NASA's ongoing research, we may one day unlock the secrets of neural adaptation, paving the way for a future where life can exist beyond the pull of Earth's gravity. The next frontier of neuroscience is not on Earth, it is in the weightless expanse of space. And as we continue to explore, we may discover that the key to thriving in space lies not just in technology, but in the incredible adaptability of the nervous system itself.